I've definitely had times where I wanted to become a pro. Like I think it's almost in everyone's dreams of becoming a pro player in some way or form. In 2012, I was actually playing Call of Duty a lot, and I was doing really well like on like the solo queue ladder for Black Ops 2. I was very close in actually getting signed to a team, but I actually moved overseas to Indonesia. And in Indonesia, the ping was so bad, like the internet was horrible. I couldn't play no matter how hard I tried. It was a big sacrifice, but at the end, it was one of those needed sacrifices for me to get to where I am now. And eventually, I found League in the same 2012, 2013. I was like, yo, this is really cool. I don't think going pro is the right path for me. Like being behind a camera and telling the players stories would be much better because it's more meaningful to me and to the players. So that is how I ended up in the content space. In 2015, I stumbled upon a Team Liquid documentary called Rebirth. There's a League of Legends documentary too, and after watching one episode of it, I got really hooked. And I just wanted to do that, be a documentarian in esports, tell the stories of the players and whatnot. Over the years before I started going to uni, I started practicing my skills, and then eventually I joined film school. The esports content scene has a vast majority of like content pieces and like styles. Something that has been kind of bothering me is how repetitive the content is getting. Like I used to love watching a lot of teams content, but nowadays I only consume specific teams content because of just how well edited it is, how different it is in style, and how contrast it is to like a lot of the other teams. Their only purpose is just to make money, and I feel like those corporate videos have strict guidelines on creative freedom, and that is something I'm not an advocate for. Like I love creative freedom. Like I would preach it if I could. Like make a church out of creative freedom. Like G2 and 100 Thieves. Like I think they're the two best teams in like esports content right now. Like they're funny, they're good. It's a different style, and it's they make the sponsorship videos really good too. Like they somehow make it really interesting. Like the Dominoes with G2, like the 100 Thieves and like
Cash App Compound.
I don't know, like Cash App. Exactly, the Cash App Compound. Teams need to start learning from them and how to be as interesting as them, but also not being them, but having their own tastes and flavor in it too at the same time. Team Liquid Breaking Point. I think I've analyzed that 20 times in my film classes. Like every essay that I had to include Breaking Point in it, because to me it was just like a masterpiece of like esports documentary, like something that had to be dissected and something that could be shown to the general audience, like saying esports really isn't just kids sitting in a room playing games. There's also a lot of emotional impact to it, and there's a lot of like real life aspects, and that really changed my view of esports and filmmaking. Really funny, weird story. Probably not the best origin story. I was on Twitter, right? I saw the head of Legacy Esports. He liked a tweet, and usually when you like someone's tweet, it doesn't really show up on your timeline, right? Unless you follow them. Twitter algorithm that one night showed me that tweet, and it was a social media person from Legacy asking for like people to do content for them. I just applied randomly, like thinking, like, you know what? I don't have anything to lose. Like 2 days later, I got an email from the guy. I'm down to like set up an interview with you and just like talk more about the content. And then a week later, I did some highlights for them. And then the week after that, I went to LAN with them for like OPL. It was really fast, but it was really cool.
Shepherding in the wave, there's a flank here from the Aatrox. Can they get onto the carry? Just juggled in the CC, they need to get into the Lamb's respite. They're able to do so, and this is Claire's territory. Explosion from Raid, he flashes forward, picks himself up a triple kill, and Legacy have done it. And 4 versus 5, it does not mimic.
My goal when I entered this esports thing in 2015, when I saw the Team Liquid documentary, I was like, all right, LA is the goal. Like I have to work my ass off, do as much as I can now, and just build myself for like Los Angeles and America, like NA. I've always loved Samsung Galaxy since 2013 in League of Legends. Like they were my favorite team, so I followed them all the way. And then 2017 when they won Worlds, I was actually really sad that KSV, which is now Gen.G, bought Samsung Galaxy. But I figured, you know what? I'll follow this team because I love the players too. Like it's a ride or die pretty much, right? At this point, I reached out to like Dominic Callis, who's the head of operations at Gen.G Esports. I was like, yo, I'm really interested in making a Discord server to like spread the word of Gen.G, the international audience, Korean speakers, English speakers, and everyone. You know what? This sounds like a really good idea. I made the Gen.G server with them. 2019 June or July, I sent like a whole PDF file, like a 3-page PDF file on how to improve Gen.G's content and like saying, let me help you because I'm begging you, like let me help you with this. I sent it to like Nate and Dom and they sent it to like the head of marketing. Obviously got ignored. Dom was really stoked about the PDF, I think. Like he read the whole thing, he was really stoked about the ideas I had. Fast forward to 2019 October, I saw a job posting. A week later, I got an email saying, you've passed the first round, we'll do an interview. The interview was like at 6 a.m. my time. They were late, which is okay. It's Gen.G after all. I got an email from them like, hey, this is a letter of offer. Like, read this through, read this contract, tell us if you're happy about it. So I was really stoked. This is it. I worked my ass off for 5 years to get to this point where I could move to Los Angeles, you know, and like actually achieve my dreams. I signed with them in 2019 December, wrapped everything up with like legacy and everything else by February, and then yeah, I shipped off to Los Angeles in February last year. Yeah, so obviously, like most people, I thought COVID was gonna be like a short thing where the world would like get their shit together in like months. I didn't really bat much attention to it for like the first 2 months. To me, it didn't really make a change because I worked from home for like 2 years before that in Legacy. It was like second nature to me, like you know, working from home again. Like it just felt normal. But the reason I moved to Los Angeles too, one of them was to work in an office surrounded by coworkers in the same environment. Damn. I'm really unlucky. I worked for 5 years to get to where I am now, only to be extremely cucked by a virus. It was in May, like, where I just started feeling super duper like unmotivated, like espresso depresso mode. All the content I was pushing out was not fun at all. It was more like mainly corporate stuff for Gen.G, so it wasn't a lot of creative freedom. Like my only savior in that month was actually the Valorant team, like announcing them, and the next gen documentary series I produced with them. Mentally coping with just how the fact that, wow, I'm working from home again. I knew the Valorant boys love Haikyuu, like some of them like Michael and Huynh, and like they watch anime a lot, so I was like, this is the target where we should be hitting. But teams weren't capitalizing on this for some reason. I don't know if it's because it's DMCA or anything, but I mean, you put one anime video out with like your player's face on the video, instant 1K likes, instant impressions, because this is the audience that is in Valorant, and that's what you should be targeting. But instead, you're doing more corporate stuff, which does not make sense to me. On the team, on Pentanet, 4 out of the 5 players on the team are people that I worked with in the past on Legacy. And then Pablo sent me a DM saying like, yo, do you want to do an edit for me for like voice comms? And I was like, yeah, I think that's pretty cool. Like, it's been such a long time since I did League and fun content. The Pentanet guys saw it. They were like, yo, this is really dope. Let's do like a 1 recap with you, and then we'll see how it goes. Yeah, I think it was like around week 5 of the LCO, which is like the last week of the regular season, where they gave me the keys to the socials and the keys to like all the video content and everything, like full access. And they really just said, go wild. Yeah, it's like a really random thing. Like it's like how I started with Legacy, like really random. Once again, like locked into it, I guess. Like a DM. That's how it started really. There was nothing, I think, special or anything. Fast forward to MSI. I was supposed to go with them actually to Iceland, and I was so stoked, you know, like I was so stoked to go to Iceland. Like, yo, I'm going back to LAN after like a whole year, you know, like this is thick. Some stuff happened, which made me not able to go to Iceland. We were the first ever team from Oceania to make it past the group stage and advance to round 2 of any international event. So that was a really big thing for us because in the past we always came up short, whether it's in a best of 5 or best of 3s. So it was a pretty meaningful win for our region, especially since this year our fundings were cut off and our infrastructure was totally blown to the ground. And it just meant a lot. Like it just gave us a lot of hope for the future and also for promising young talent that is yet to come for our region. Honestly, not going to Iceland with them is probably a crucial factor on why the socials were successful, because I had more time at home in front of my desk to shitpost and make memes. Like if I went with them to Iceland, I'd probably be scrolling around and just filming 24/7. For Iceland, we had 1.1k follower. During MSI, we gained 20.4k followers, 26.8 million impressions as of today, over 3.5 million profile visits, 31.3k mentions and stuff like that. So I guess it's not bad. I feel like I need to redeem myself because Los Angeles, my NA experience was just such a tragedy. Like I could have done more, but the circumstances and the situation did not help at all. So I don't think I would go back to LA. Probably go for there for a visit, but not to work again. Maybe I'm not too sure. But I like to go to Europe. G2 Esports wouldn't be too bad, you know. Like their content's pretty cool. Their work ethic is pretty cool. Yeah, I just want to make a documentary again, like an esports documentary to redeem that 1 year I lost of creativity. Ironically, that was my best and worst year yet. Best because I moved to NA, and then I joined a better team, but worse in terms of like creative performances. So yeah, I feel like just anything to redeem myself pretty much.